What if I told you that one specific hour of the day, just 60 minutes, quietly decided the future of a completely burnt-out worker? Not motivation, not talent, not luck, just 5 a.m. You didn't click this story to hear another wake-up-early lecture. You clicked because the title promised something specific: a 5 a.m. protocol, a system, and a real story about how it changed a person's destiny forever. That's exactly what this story delivers. Because right now, whether you admit it or not, most people are exhausted, not lazy, not ungrateful, just burnt out. Long work hours, constant pressure, a life that feels busy but somehow empty. And the most dangerous part? You wake up every day already feeling behind. This story matters because it's not about success. It's about control. Control over your mornings, control over your mind, control over a life that feels like it's slowly slipping away. By the end of this story, you'll understand exactly what the 5 a.m. protocol is, why it worked for a burnt-out worker in modern America, and how a quiet hour, before the world wakes up, became the turning point that changed everything. But let me be clear, this is not another morning routine story. No cold showers, no hustle slogans, no wake up at 4 a.m. and grind harder nonsense. This is a story-first journey, emotion, insight, and a practical takeaway that shows why waking up early works only when it's done with intention. So if you've ever felt tired even after sleeping, if your life feels reactive instead of intentional, or if deep down you feel like you were meant for more than just surviving the work week, stay with this story till the end, because this isn't about waking up early, it's about waking up before your life passes you by. Daniel Reyes was 27 years old and already exhausted by a life he hadn't consciously chosen. He lived in a modern American city, glass buildings, endless traffic, constant motion. From the outside, everything looked fine. A decent apartment, a stable job as a marketing analyst, health insurance, direct deposit. But inside, he felt empty. Every morning started the same way. An alarm at 7:45 a.m. A jolt of anxiety. A phone already buzzing with emails before his feet touched the floor. Daniel didn't wake up. He reacted. Coffee replaced sleep, deadlines replaced dreams, and weekends were just recovery rooms for another exhausting week. He used to care. He used to try. Now, he counted hours. By the time he reached his desk, his mind already felt used up. Meetings blurred together. Tasks felt meaningless. His body showed up, but his soul stayed home. Burnout didn't scream. It whispered. It showed up as Sunday night dread, as exhaustion that sleep couldn't cure, as the quiet fear that this routine, might be his entire future. One evening, after leaving the office close to midnight, Daniel called his mother. She lived in the small village where he'd grown up. Quiet roads, early mornings, skies wide enough to breathe under. "You sound tired," she said softly. "I'm fine," he replied automatically. "Do you remember your grandfather?" she asked. "How he used to wake up before sunrise?" Daniel smiled faintly. "Every day, 5 a.m., no alarm. He used to say," she continued, "if you win the morning, the day can't defeat you." Daniel laughed quietly. Back then, it sounded simple. Now, it sounded impossible. That night, he collapsed into bed past midnight, mind racing, heart heavy. And for the first time, he wondered, what if the problem isn't my job, but how my days begin? 3 weeks later, Daniel finally hit the wall. During an important presentation, his mind went blank. Slides he'd rehearsed, words he'd prepared, gone. His heart raced, his chest tightened. The room felt smaller with every second. Afterward, his manager didn't yell, she didn't threaten. She simply said, "Daniel, you look exhausted. You need a reset before this costs you more than a bad meeting." That night, Daniel sat alone in his apartment, lights off, city glowing outside his window. For the first time, he admitted the truth. This can't continue. Without overthinking it, he picked up his phone and set an alarm. 5 a.m. When it rang, it felt cruel. His body resisted, his mind negotiated. 5 more minutes, tomorrow instead. Then he remembered the presentation, the panic, the warning. He sat up. The apartment was silent. No emails, no notifications, no pressure. He stepped outside. The city, normally aggressive and loud, was calm. Traffic lights changed for no one. Streets felt untouched. A bakery down the road glowed warmly as bread baked for strangers he'd never meet. Daniel walked. No podcast, no music, just silence. For the first time in years, his thoughts slowed down. He wasn't behind. He wasn't late. He was ahead. That morning, he didn't accomplish anything impressive. He walked. He breathed. He watched the sky turn blue. But something shifted. So he did it again the next day. And again. After 1 week, he noticed something strange. His mornings no longer felt like emergencies. He began journaling. 10 minutes, no rules, dumping thoughts, clearing mental clutter, then stretching, then reading. The hour became protected. No phone, no noise, no outside demands. 2 weeks in, Daniel started planning his day before the world touched him. One priority, one meaningful action. A month later, his energy changed. Not because work improved, but because he did. He spoke with clarity, stopped overcommitting, left on time without guilt. Then came the realization that changed everything. Daniel didn't hate his job. He hated living reactively. On a visit home, Daniel woke up at 5 a.m. without an alarm. The village was still. Birds broke the silence. Distant footsteps moved slowly across fields. The air smelled like earth and dew. No rush. No pressure. He remembered his grandfather standing outside at dawn, sipping tea, watching the sky. This, Daniel realized, is what mornings were meant to feel like. The early hour wasn't about productivity, it was about ownership. That quiet time gave him authorship over his life again. Months passed. Daniel didn't quit his job overnight, he didn't become famous, but he became consistent, and consistency quietly rewrote his future. Daniel eventually named it the 5 a.m. protocol. Not a routine, not a trend, a commitment. Here's what it meant. 1. Wake before the world. 5 a.m. is neutral ground, no expectations live there. 2. Protect the first hour. No phone, no emails, no chaos. 3. Move gently. Walk, stretch, breathe. 4. Empty the mind journal. Think, reflect. 5. Advance. 1. Meaningful goal. Just one. Daily. Progress compounds. Daniel learned, doesn't come from working too hard, it comes from never working on yourself first. The moral years later, Daniel didn't remember emails, or meetings, or metrics. He remembered the quiet mornings, the empty streets, the rising sun. That's where his destiny shifted. Not loudly, not dramatically, but consistently. The power of 5 a.m. isn't the time, it's the ownership. Wake up early, and you don't just start the day first, you start your life on your terms.